Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Good morning. You know, I would never get nobody name up. They was like, they was like, is that a wig? What was that? I said, I don't know. I don't do hair. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say the other women that was in there. Some that didn't, the marriage, they was laughing at the gym with me this morning and said, we know you gonna put them hairstyles. I said, I am. So I know, because we got 130. I said I am. I'm going to put it up there. Now, one downvote is Liddell or Candace. I'm not messing with you.
Rocket.
But look who they said that was Crockett. You got Stephen A. Smith attacking her now. Jasmine Crockett.
He's attacking our whole nationality, so it ain't nothing new with him. He's the fastest race. He all that. He let you know who he is. He ain't holding him up.
But he black.
Stephen Miller ain't.
No, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. You ain't see how they said to my y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. I mean, listen, hey, some laugh with you, some laugh at you. They laughed at me plenty of times. I laughing too, shit. But, hey, it is what it is. But boy, we was rolling. They was like, you gonna put them pictures up? I said, I am. She the one brought up content. She said, oh, they trying to use stuff for content. I said, well, she gave it to me. But this what I had wanted to say. I was watching one guy. I was looking for his video, and he was talking about like in Chicago when they raided the hotel. And I get both sides, not the hotel, the apartment complex. But and as he was breaking it down, and it was like what they doing is, what they not telling people is, and it's bad on both sides, but these was the ones that the Democrats had, and when they took them to Martha's Vineyard and everything.
Yeah.
What's up?
I just can't fathom that, right? Like, I'm still stuck on, you touch my kids, I'm touching you. It's that serious. And the fact that he's just letting this man skate by, but a dude who does something peaceful, that rallies the community to do something peaceful, right? How often do we see people today get groups of people together, rile them up, and go set them loose? Jed gathered a group of people, got them focused, and did something productive, and he's the fucking monster? This is some bull.
I'm muted. Oh, I'm unmuted now. I was muted for a second. What's up, family? What's up, family? What's up?
It auto mutes us when it plays an intro or an outro.
Yeah. I looked at it. No, when we came up on here, I was still muted. What good evening, good morning, beautiful people. I almost messed up today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It ain't that cold. It's 27 degrees in Flint. But it said feel like it's colder than some of these men's bedroom who have been getting caught up lately. That's where it's at. It's just at the tip of below freezing when they tell you pack up and get out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank y'all all for tapping in. Y'all know Trevor was a little mad yesterday. He said he got his rant. So we're going to see what Trevor finna rant about today.
I'm a bit angry, but I'll let the good mornings good morning.
Well, good morning. Shout out to my Gaddis clan, Karen Malone, new one, Mickey. What did I do, new one? Lorna, good morning. Good morning. Shout out to Jasmine. Thank you for tapping in. And go blue. You heard? Go blue. Blakey Gaddis, Ashley Gaddis, Big Mama Gaddis, the lovely Deborah Luna. We even got Winters with some tea coming on tonight. She said she ain't heard nothing yet, but she gonna let the courthouse. We even got the Way of Jesus Christ Through Faith churches in the building. Oh, my bad. The Way of Jesus Christ live stream, because they live streaming right now. You heard Linda Chilton. Thank you for tapping in. Constance, good morning. Good morning. We got Pop Gaddis in the building. Y'all know that's Yogi G from the 202. And like Yogi G said, smash that like button because them views ain't been matching them likes. We don't like it. I'm not having it this morning. Wanda Smith in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Ketrin Buford, how you doing? Oh, Kitchen Buford. How you doing, Kitchen? Damn, I messed that up. We got We even got the Gaddis Barbershop brothers tapping in from Los Angeles. And we love it. I can't wait till I get all my Gaddis members. I can't wait till all the Gaddis clean. What's up, Rose? And we got Pastor Nicholas Jr. in the building. That's the pastor's son. And oh no, this pastor himself, Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis. My bad. Here come Junior. I got it. I messed it up for a minute. We got the preacher's son in the building. Good morning to all you beautiful. Oh, hold on. We got Angela Nett in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Good morning to being me kindly. Thank you for being kindly to us this morning. I ain't going. If you did try to leave, we'd come hunt you down in a good way. Good way. Jazzy Melody, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for tapping in. And you see where she coming from. She said top of the morning from Memphis, where it's 65 degrees. It's nice there. It's downright.
Man.
Oh, my bad, new one. But that's how it is when you blow the bag. I know them beds are not warm anymore.
Man,
Eleanor
it's even
Wood,
worse.
tapping
Getting
in.
kicked out of your own bedroom to the couch.
And
then she takes the dog with her. Like, shit. Can I at
Took
least
the
get a pillow?
dog. Loving me. Thank you for coming back to us. Thank you for coming back to us. And happy, I'm like Eleanor Wicker, you can't be happy holidays to everybody. You heard?
I'm still getting used to this Florida weather. It don't feel like no holidays to me here. It's like I was able to go outside my house this morning in t-shirt. It don't feel right.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I mean, yeah, but it don't feel right. I'm used to freezing my rosy red ass off. We'll say it like that with these holiday seasonings. Right here, I could probably catch a suntan if I wanted to. Yes, I ain't going nowhere because I ain't slept in 2 days. I'm still sick. But I got the tiny cans.
What you drinking to clear up what you got?
Well, pre-workout still.
Oh,
and then I've been mixing up pineapple juice, lemon juice, and salt. So at least I have a voice.
Well, Trevor, they waiting on you. They saw you. They waiting on you.
Yeah.
Go off on the deep. Yeah, let's get to it now.
Probably caught some people's attention with me putting a Trump's picture up there and calling a Trump class mistake. So yesterday at about 6:30.
Pause for the cause 1 second. We got Donnell Dumas in the building. Thank you for tapping in. The floor is yours, Trevor.
This is why I hold, right? We got so many people tapping in late. So yesterday about 6:30 is when I heard about it. El Presidente decided to announce a new ship class called the Trump class. Battleship. Now, we haven't used battleships since we retired. Our last one, 1992, is used in the Gulf War. They've been rather obsolete since World War II. Air power won the war. Okay. We've been using cruisers, destroyers, subsurface combatants, and aircraft carriers for the better part of, I want to say, almost 80 years now. But time is changing, and the president, along with the Secretary of the Navy and several other, we're going to say less sober folks, decided it was the best idea to come up with a battleship. And we're just going to go ahead and share it. That way I can go through each point that's driving me fucking nuts. Number one, battleship is just, today it is a giant hunk of metal screaming, fucking hit me from orbit. Okay. And we're not just building one of these. The plan is for 20 fucking 5. My wallet is already screaming. Let me see. Share screen. Opera. The Trump class battleship. Here is your introductory. So he wants to have a flight deck and hangar for small aircraft, helicopters, to go out and do whatever they do. He's got 2 Mark 38 30mm guns on the aft for anti-air, anti-small ship. 2 counter UXS systems. Shit, I don't even know what the hell those are. Let's get to the other fun parts. 2 30-kilowatt lasers. Okay, we have had lasers for a while. We used to slap them on jumbo jets just as a proof of concept. The Navy's used them to shoot down a couple drones in the Persian Gulf. That's a huge power draw. We've got the SUIP Block 3, 4 faces. That's its radar systems. Plus its SPY-6 AMDR radar system, 4 faces. Embark Commander with his C4I. So it used to be command and control back in the day, or C3. Now it's C4 because they threw computers in there and intelligence suite. 2 more Mark 38s in the forward. Then he wants 2 Mark 45 5-inch guns. 2 vertical launch missile cells, 28 Mark 41 VLS, 12 conventional prompt strike CPS missiles or hypersonics. I've gone through how much I hate that fucking word. And then we've got 1 32 megajoule railgun with hypervelocity projectiles up front. And tell me this don't sound like some sci-fi bullshit. You're lost on what's the purpose, Linda Chilton. All right, look, I'm going to be as blunt as I can just because this is military talk and I don't know how to sweet talk it. It's to big dick. It's literally just to show off. Naming it after himself. All right, let's just go through the first problem. Naming a ship class after yourself is a fucking egomaniac problem. Presidents do it all the time, yes. But there's an actual convention to this. So smaller ships, your destroyers, your corvettes, frigates, things of that nature usually get named after a naval hero or Marine Corps hero. So the ones that come off the top of my head are the Zimwalt class and the Arleigh Burke destroyers. Named after some pretty decent dudes. Did some cool shit. Then you move up to cruisers. Cruisers usually named after admiral or many times after a city. Think the St. Louis class cruiser. Then you move up to aircraft carriers. Those usually get named after presidents or rather important people. Then you have some historical names like the Enterprise, the Essex. And then you get up to battleship. Battleship is usually named after a state. Think the USS Arizona, the USS Texas, the Iowa, and on and on and on it goes. But naming a ship class after yourself, a battleship at that, breaking convention, calling it the Trump class. And the first one is the Defiance. Like, shit, okay. We've got problems. Well, let's just go into where I'm having issues. Number 1, 4 Mark 38 millimeter or Mark 38 30mm guns for close-in anti-air, anti-drone, anti-missile support. You're better off with a 25mm CIWS because it spits out fuck ton more lead. More lead equals more kills. That's simple. This thing is already screaming to be hit from orbit. It's already split the radar because the one that Trump was standing in front of in the White House, the little picture he had there we are, had radar panels back here. So there's now a nice blind spot in the middle of the damn boat. Anyway. And then we get into what's driving me absolutely insane. Number 1, 2 30-kilowatt lasers or 300-kilowatt lasers being run off of a gas turbine diesel power, which can run the ship at 30 knots. Okay. Those lasers are going to be struggling for power as it is. The rest of the ship is going to probably brown out or dim out while those two are running. And then we've got the 32 megajoule railgun. Let me see. Here we are. Let me go ahead and swap slides. We're going back into this little thing. Stop screen. Share screen. Mind you, I was never in the Navy, but it is what it is. How much energy? All right. Yeah. How much power does it take? U.S. Navy did fire railguns. We have them. They do exist. We've run them test after test after test. U.S. Navy's railgun tests require massive amounts of power, with prototypes needing around 25 megawatts. Well, I'm not an electrician. I don't know how much 25 megawatts is, so I had to look it up. Share screen. How much energy is 25 megawatts? Oh, nope, wrong one. Yeah, 25 megawatts is measure of power, not energy, meaning it's 25 million watts of electricity flowing in one instant, capable of powering roughly 16,000 to 20,000 average homes in the U.S. or some large facilities like data centers for a moment. And you're trying to tell me that this diesel electric engine can run that, and the 2 lasers, and everything else aboard the chip that you think it needs to run. It's screaming not going to fucking work. I'm sorry, this ain't going to work. Number 2, the amount of vertical launch cells it has comes up somewhere in this thing. Here's their little polygon bullshit. 80 times the range of previous class. Don't care about that. For defense. 128 vertical launch systems, which sounds great until you realize that this ship is like a 50-year-old man. You get one shot to get your load off, and then you're done for the day. That's it. If I'm paying, because we are going to be paying for this as taxpayers, regardless of what anyone says, I don't think we can say we're going to build the ship and make Mexico pay for it. Anyway, yeah, there's no make Mexico pay for the new ship. This thing is going to be good for one Alakablam and have to roll out. We haven't but once done a ship-to-ship rearmament or logistics transfer with vertical launch missiles. Usually it has to go all the way back to port. So I don't know what the sustainability is for this thing. If it gets attacked and it launches all 128 missiles, it's just going to sit there in the ocean for God knows how fucking long.
Well, answer this question for me, because I really don't. What is the purpose? Is he doing? Is he doing this because he's trying to start? Is we going to war? I mean, is he taking America into war? Like, what is the purpose for him creating these new ships? I'm lost on it. I don't know none of this. What you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And good morning to everybody that's tapping in. I might didn't get to tell y'all good morning, but I put y'all up here. I didn't want to interrupt while Trevor was breaking stuff down, because right now I'm just listening. Okay. I don't know.
So purpose, it's supposed to, they're quoting, supposed to cement America's dominance over the seas for the next several generations. I'm already comfortable for the next 2 generations. I'm not going to lie to you. China and Russia, people keep saying, look at them. I've looked at Russia's Navy. Their one and only aircraft carrier catches on fire for fun. I'm not kidding you. China's Navy is not a blue water Navy. It is a shallow water Navy. It cannot project out power. And yes, they may have more ships than us, but that's what happens when you classify every fucking fishing boat in your waters as a naval vessel. When it comes to tonnage, the United States doesn't just have the largest Navy, it also has the second largest Navy. Our active Navy being the largest in tonnage, the second largest being our museum ships that we still keep around that we can quickly reactivate and put back into service. They're mothballed. Mothballed just means quickly drag it out of the drawer, polish it off, and go. So the purpose for it, I don't really see one. We've moved away from battleships for a fucking reason. It's just a big target. And while it's slinging missiles, that sounds great until something gets a missile in on it first. And then all 128 of those VLS missiles, even if the warheads are not armed and they don't blow, the fuel does, and it'll break that ship apart. If you're trying to run the 2 lasers and the railgun at the same time, you're going to run that ship into a blackout. Then here's the next fun thing. Railguns are very impractical. It sounds great, sounds sci-fi, sounds fucking wonderful, right? It is the newest, biggest, baddest gun. Problem is, and we're going to get into really dummy back of the envelope physics for this. The way a railgun works, you take 2 rails, you cant them toward each other a little bit. One rail is going to be running a positive current. One rail is going to be running a negative current. You're going to put your projectile in the two. It's going to complete the circuit, and it flings the projectile out. That produces a lot of heat, for one, and for two, just because the velocity of it, you're having your rails do this. Metal doesn't like to move, and then because of the amount of heat on it, you have to supercool it so you get more electrical conductivity, because once metal reaches a certain temperature, it loses magneticism, which is something I've learned recently working in the forge with my knife. Yeah, it wouldn't stick to this block if I had it red hot. So when you supercool materials like that, they like to snap. Railguns are notoriously unreliable because they keep on breaking. You're going to get maybe, I think the best railgun that we've ever made got 12 shots before we broke the rails on it.
You see what Williams said. He said railguns use too much electricity.
And that was where I was going with the diesel electric power plant and running 2 lasers, which we've used lasers. This isn't sci-fi. Like, they work. But trying to run all of this off of one diesel electric power plant just ain't gonna fucking work. Mm-hmm. You're trying to power your house off a 12 volt like this, right? And that's not even the largest problem I have with the entire thing. Believe it or not, it's already a shit show, and I already hate it. But then they decided to release more. It's a fleet concept, a doctrine concept. They want to have smaller than Corvette-sized ships escort it, all of them being unmanned or less than manned. That gives a hark back to the USS Zimwalt class, the littoral combat ships. Absolute pieces of trash. Any naval personnel in here, if you kept up with the Navy, say the past 20 years, you remember these piece of crap destroyers that were supposed to be modular and high end and have less crew. They wanted to try less crew so they could have more ships but keep the same personnel. That didn't work because these ships kept on breaking down. Look, being at sea is hard. Okay, sailing is hard. I'm the first grunt and ground pounder to admit it. The ocean itself does not like you being there. It tries to break your toys. And if you have X amount of personnel, a very low amount of personnel, like the Zimwalts with 80 people, trying to keep up with an entire destroyer's worth of problems constantly popping up, guess what? You're going to spend more time in dry dock having the damn thing fixed than you're actually going to be out patrolling or doing what navies are supposed to do. So this thing having an entire small fleet, escort fleet of unmanned ships or undermanned ships is going to run into the same problem. It's not going to go anywhere unless it's trying to tow them. But guess what? You just lost. It's advertised as 30 knots, which is pretty fast for a ship. But if you're having to tow your own fleet around because it keeps breaking down around you, you're maybe getting 5 knots. It's a piece of shit. Why doesn't it look like the Bismarck? I mean, I'm just happy he didn't make it look like the Yamato. Every time another country comes up with a beautiful boat that's supposed to be unsinkable, we sink it. This time we're coming up with a beautiful boat, and I'm pretty sure someone's going to try to sink it. The only thing that I can say is a positive about this, and mind you guys, once again, I'm just a dumb grunt. I don't serve aboard boats. I walked around and got shot at. Okay. The only thing I can say is good about this comes from the military procurement side. They've decided to do 2. To build 2 first, run them through their paces, make sure everything works, break everything to where it's supposed to work together, constantly fix it, and then once they've got everything working right, they want to produce the rest of the run. Okay? Because we built the Zimwalt class very quickly. It was do the full production run. Many of the components had never been tested together. They didn't work. The engines didn't work. And I think we produced 6 of them before the line was called off. And all 6 of those are engineering nightmares because they just don't fucking work. They weren't fixed before going into full production. It's like getting a brand new show car from like GM, concept car, right off the fucking manufacturing line without anyone testing it. It's going to break down on you in a couple miles. Why? Because it wasn't tested. So we're only doing 2 to test and unfuck and then doing the rest. But those two are still going to cost us billions of dollars.
So who's going to make the money for making them?
Well, we have been investing in shipyards. We're trying to bring our shipyards back up.
I seen when Alan was saying, "Do you
Elon?"
About Elon? I mean, because somebody got to pay for it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Elliott. And even one nuclear reactor aboard this thing for the power jaw that it's looking at isn't going to work. You're going to need one nuclear reactor for the ship to actually function, and then another one to run the lasers, the fucking and the railgun. And if you want more shots in a short amount of time with that railgun, then you're going to need a bank of capacitors. Guess what? Capacitors don't like holding a charge for very long, so you either use it or lose it.
Man, so you gonna put a ticking time bomb on the water, basically?
Well, it's not a ticking time bomb. It's more of a kinetic time bomb or kinetic bomb. It will explode when something hits it. It's not ticking down. It's going to break down, and then something's going to hit it. Like someone I saw in there go, drone swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, if the rest of your fleet is doing its job, you don't have to worry about a drone swarm as much. You honestly don't want to be using your anti-aircraft missiles on them, but hey, you do what you got to do. You just took a net loss. But they're also trying to use drone boats, unmanned boats. I don't care what anyone tells you. I'm being dead serious. I don't care what anyone tells you. If someone says something is unjammable, they are either lying to you to get you to buy the product, or they're fucking stupid. So how is this ship going to connect with the other ships? Well, Link 16 uses a bunch of different ways of communicating through satellites to get a whole bunch of, say, ships and personnel to talk together. But you can jam that. If it's a laser communication from satellite, guess what? You just scatter lasers across the battlefield in a wide beam, and you modulate the frequency until you see that they stop moving, and you just keep it on that frequency. Guess what? Those boats ain't moving. If they're radio controlled, all you do is you know when you hit scan on your radio and it goes to every channel real quick? That's basically what you do. You transmit on every fucking channel possible as loud as possible. I hate this boat. We should be focusing on smaller ships, many more smaller ships. We should be looking at things like corvettes and frigates. Corvettes and frigates primarily. And we need to replace our aging Arleigh Burkes. This doesn't fill a battlefield role. It's trying to make its own role, but it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. Like, I hate it. And mind you guys, I voted for the guy. But I'm not going to sit here and give the man fellatio over one of the dumbest ideas I've ever seen anyone try to put on water. This is the dumbest idea since the Zimwalt class.
But wouldn't that be called wasteful spending?
Incredibly wasteful. Yeah, I honestly think it's going to... Hear me out here. This is his pet project, but it's going to turn into a turd. They're going to realize real quick it ain't going to fucking work. I'm pretty sure you have several naval personnel from the lowest rank to the highest rank just being polite and nodding their head and going, okay, realizing that this is going to fall through. No one's dreaming of working on this ship. They know it's not going to work. They're going to get part of the way through, realize nothing works, and they're going to abandon it. The same way they did with the Booker light tank that was supposed to support the airborne. Well, they ended up doing a design by committee where someone comes up with, it'd be great, and they add something else, and they add something else. That tank became too heavy to drop out of the back of an aircraft, to drop with the 82nd Airborne. The 25th Infantry Regiment has or 25th Infantry Division has an infantry battalion or brigade. And the 173rd, they had no tank support, and they will have no tank support because design by committee made it too big. I think that's what's going to happen here. They're going to try adding too much shit, realize that it ain't going to work, and they're just going to drop
it. But once again, and I'm saying exactly like I'm looking at what Chaotic Animal just said, it said, where's the healthcare plan? Now, this project is to have a boat with his name on it. And then it's like, this is, but see, this is where people, I can get where white people be mad, but you willing to take a cut over here, but you willing to throw money away over here. Because you saying this boat, basically, this is going to be a waste of money.
100%. And they're talking about maritime security. But I also recently read the U.S. Navy white papers. Most countries are nice enough to let you know how they're planning on running their militaries through something called white papers. U.S. Navy white papers says that we want to withdraw our Navy from... Okay, basically, let me just tell you where we do want to be. On the west side of the Atlantic, so closer to our shore, and most of the Pacific. Everywhere else we want to withdraw our fleets from. So if we want to secure our maritime supremacy with this big ass ship, but we're not actually going to be extending the maritime supremacy, this makes no fucking sense. Why are you going to have a big stick if you're not going to put it out there?
So this is what I'm trying to figure out. So what is he finna go to war with? Because you're not building no toys up not to use them. So where is this? Where is this headed?
The only place that I could see these things being useful in their intended role, mind you, their intended role is long-range fire support, launching 128 missiles in one go, then going to a naval base and reloading and doing it again, would be China. Devastate, because those missiles have very long range. I mean, we're talking thousands of miles. So the only place I could see it actually being useful is China, hitting ports, naval facilities, and then military industrial facilities such as arms manufacturers, tank manufacturers, and military bases. You would get all 25 ships, launch those missiles, saturate the area, overextend their air defense, anti-missile defense, and then you'd pull off, come back, and start hitting their anti-ship missile emplacements that they'd put up right after.
I'm looking at what Chaotic Animal said. No, this is another ego project is all. It also doubles as a distraction. Like, this is, like,
This is an expensive fucking distraction. All right, look. I told you how much displacement it was going to do. I have to look it up again. So bear with me here. Trump class battleship displacement. Yeah. All right, so they want it to be around 34,000 long tons, 39,000 short tons of displacement. That's a big ass ship. A length of about 840 feet. That's a lot of steel. Just purchasing the steel alone before you even start welding things. Before you start welding and riveting things together, and paying for the labor of it is going to be insane in material cost. And then not to mention all the rare earths you need for the rail guns that are going to break down after a few shots. Yeah, it's what? Let me just look up the price. Someone has to have a price estimate. Projections running from 5 billion to 15 billion per ship at the point where you lay the hull. And that's before you put in all the electronics and before you refit the damn thing a dozen fucking times. And that's before you take into consideration you're going to have to change the rails on the railgun once a week. Even just from corrosion, you're maybe going to get like 6 months out of it before you have to replace the rails, put it back into dock to get that done. Yeah. So between 5 and 15 billion per ship. Let's see how much one of our newer aircraft carriers cost. U.S. super carrier price.
It said that Chaotic
13 billion.
Estimated is going to be 30 billion. Estimated 15 is going to be 30 billion. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how military contracts work. That's not a surprise at all. Like when they quote you on, or when they quote the military, say SIG started selling the Army the SIG Spear or the MX7, about to be the M7. I think the quote ended up tripling in price by the time that the contract was awarded and weapons started being shipped to units. Here's a fun one. Someone trying to look at the bright side, and I commend you very much, good sir. I'm not going to try to say a name because I'll screw it up. But job creation is looking good. Like I said, we have been trying to reinvest in our shipbuilding and that industry because we have fallen far behind. I think that we've lost entire generations that used to know how to build just your standard large ship. But it's also a very skilled labor job, and the lead time to be able to build up these jobs for these people, you're looking at years down the road. And I'm pretty sure that Trump is going to want his fucking ships ready to go by the time he's out of office. That way he has something to stamp his name onto.
So basically, we wasting money off of, as I'm saying,
a vanity project.
Ego.
Yeah.
Like
when someone asked earlier, I had to be blunt about it. This is just big dicking, dude. It's just swinging around. That's all it is. And it's trying to swing around the U.S. Navy to other countries to show, look, we got something. And it's Trump trying to swing around like, hey, look at me. I got my name on a big boat. It actually has me infuriated at the moment because I love our Navy. I make fun of them a lot, but I realize how important they are, right? International commerce as of late and international shipping as of the past 30 years have actually gone down in price comparatively to many other factors in the global market because it had the backing and security of the United States Navy. It didn't matter who was shipping. It could be India to China, right? But the United States Navy would make sure that international commerce was allowed, was unimpeded. Now we're pulling back, so you're about to see prices go up because, hey, if for whatever reason this country's dictator decides I'm going to take the ship and ransom it, well, now I have to make sure as the shipper that I'm getting my money's worth, so I'm going to start upcharging everyone, and then the people shipping are going to have to upcharge because they have to keep up with those prices, as well as if their entire shipment gets seized by some country's warlord or a rebel group, or hell, someone just shoots it to shoot it. I have to make sure that I have my profits.
Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, he was reading the same one.
Yeah. They can't redeploy any of the Iowas due to the fact that all of the former shipmates that knew how to load and fire the guns are dead. That much we know. Okay. There's still manuals on how to do it. And I'm pretty sure if you could teach a 1940s illiterate farm kid how to load the gun from a manual, I'm pretty sure 2025 we can teach some people how to load the fucking guns. Aiming them, well, there you got a different problem, except in the 1990s when they deployed to, I don't know, the Persian Gulf, where they actually used their guns. And yes, there are still Persian Gulf vets that served aboard those ships still alive, so you were wrong there. But we also put in targeting computers on them, so you don't need to use the old roundabout table. Next question.
I'm just trying to figure out what is the purpose of this. Like I say,
the purpose of it is vanity, dude.
That's wow.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I like big ships. I like big boats. It's fun to me to look at it. It's fun to me to, learn about World War II battleship fights. And yeah, it's terrible, but it's the history and it's fun to learn. But there's no role for it today.
Like I said, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm looking at this right here. What Alan said. They overfought against Obama over building a library, but Trump wants to spend billions on these ships. Make it make sense.
I can't. That's why I'm upset. Like, I can usually make sense of something, at least fine. find a random strand to pull on. There's nothing here. Like, if we want to revitalize our shipbuilding industries, like I said, go back to smaller ships. We do need more corvettes. We do need, well, hell, we just need corvettes, period. We do need frigates, period. We do need something to replace the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. While they are good, they're aging. We could be building these ships in droves, making more jobs. Yes, the lead time to train these people is still a long time. But hey, if you have several holes in creation at once, you have more jobs to spread around. And you know what? If you were doing that, I could argue, yeah, it's a big spend of money. But at the same time, when you're spreading around a lot of jobs and increasing local economies like that, I can't frown at it. But 2 big ships at first and then another 23 to come over a decade or 3, it's too much.
Well, Carol Kincaid got a question for you.
Where are they going to build at that will provide the draft to move it into the seas? Default shipbuilders in Saginaw River, they had Seattle shipyards, Norfolk, possibly New York, though I wouldn't fucking put that in New York just because everyone would be angry at it and you'd never get any work done, plus the courts. There's a couple. That's about it. Those are the only decent-sized naval yards in the United States. You might be able to get away with it at Pearl Harbor, but I don't think they have any shipbuilding facilities there in Hawaii. So,
like I say, I'm just like this. He doing some things. It's like, I don't listen. Like you said, it's crazy how hard they fighting to cut this, but you finna spend billions for this over here.
It makes no sense to me.
It's like it baffles me, and I'm trying to get it.
I've been pissed since because I watch Pepperbox, which is a YouTube alternative. I watched Chris Cappy and some of his old crew from Task and Purpose, and one of them was explaining the U.S. white papers, and I went and looked it up myself, and just the thought of our Navy consolidating in tells me weakness. Okay, so our grand plan for this is to make one of the biggest targets floating on the sea today. Like, if I were someone just wanting to pick a fight with the United States and I had some way of targeting those ships, you can be damn sure I'd throw everything I had at one of them. Number one, I mean, just saying you sank a Trump-class battleship is something that you can hang in your hat. Right? It's a huge black eye to the country. I hope this gets stopped in court. This is one of the few times I'm going to say, like, a presidential decision needs to go to a fucking court and needs to get fucking slapped down by a judge going, no, this is stupid.
Like I said, I'm looking at Chaotic Animals. Said, isn't a third of the White House in ruins? How about we stop breaking stuff and get the fixing started what's broken in this country? I do believe that, but you got to get, like I say, when you got our politicians working for who got the money, this is why we get the situation that we getting.
It is a no-win, no-sense situation, dude.
Yeah, I mean, because you got healthcare. Listen, the first to be here next Thursday, we got what? 8 days left in 2025.
Wait. I don't know. Okay, yeah, 8 days.
23rd.
Oh, shit, yeah.
8 days left in 2025. And everybody know, as far as this healthcare finna be another big thing. But I'm just saying, for him to come out, I get it, but you to boast on that, and we finna see billions finna be wasted on that. And
yeah,
you need to tell me people with healthcare,
keep to the same fucking song, right? Like, you wanna reduce spending. Okay, I'm fine with that. I love reducing spending. Okay? That's great because look, there's so many things that the US government does right now that doesn't need to be doing. So many older programs that are literally sitting on a shelf, literally helping no one, but still having billions spent on them every year. that needs to go away. But then to turn around and say, yes, let's build a giant ass ship for between 5 and 15 billion, and of course it's going to double in price because all government contracts do. So 30 billion a hole, and you want 25 of these. What? That's what, 700 billion dollars? Not to mention the systems. The systems going in it that you have to buy, integrate, which obviously is going to take labor to get all that done, and then to crew them. I mean, a ship like that, it should have a crew pretty significant. We're talking about like 600-700 people, just because of its size and displacement, all that fun shit. Plus, maintenance, like we talked about with the Zimwalt. So now you're looking at close to $1 trillion investment for what? Something that's never going to get used. It's going to be a floating turd. And if it ever does leave the slip yard, every sailor that touches it is going to fucking curse it until they die.
Like I said, I don't know. You got me on that one. What's up, Sherry Allen? Thank you for tapping in. You got me on that one. But
see, that's why I loved when Mr. McCants showed up and said that thing's going to need a nuclear reactor. You're right. Because a diesel electric doesn't produce that much energy. I mean, yes, you can do a lot with a diesel electric. I mean, hell, we've used our own destroyers and cruisers to help tie into power grids of towns that have been struck by hurricanes, natural disaster, blackout, brownout, whatever, to help supplement the power grid. I think they're looking at doing that with San Diego right now because they just had a massive blackout. I know Seattle, when it took a natural disaster, I want to say back in the 60s, maybe even sooner than that, had a ship link its power system up to the city to help run the electric grid.
I'm just trying to... let me deal with this real quick. Go ahead, Trevor.
Oh.
Yeah, I got him.
I mean, you don't have to. I can sit there and trade back and forth with this guy. I'm in the mood for it. I'm sorry your father never hugged you.
He just needed 24. That's all.
No, he needs a father's love, which he won't find on this channel.
Yeah, I just
get the hell out, buddy.
I just got him together. What I'm looking at, I'm just looking at because we see, listen, Trump is a gift to keep giving. Did you just see the stuff he said to Colombia president?
No, you were trying to tell me about it on my drive to the store to get my Red Bull, but I was driving.
Listen, I'm gonna look for it for you. Trump is wilding out here, man. Trump wilding. That's what I'm saying. Like, where we headed to, he doing a lot of saber rattling, in my humble opinion.
Trump warns Colombia's president Petro better watch his ass. I mean, as I heard, I think it was habitual line crossers. So you're talking a lot of shit for a country with a lot of resources and a small military is basically what he just said. But
I'm looking what Alan said. Guess what? China, Japan, and other nations have been buying up our scrap metal for years. It takes a lot of metal to build those ships. Good morning, Common Sense. Because the reason I say that, I'm because you said you were stopping the Venezuela boats. This is where it get tricky at. You said Venezuela was drug smuggling boats, right? This is the rhetoric that you use. When people said, well, most of the drugs come from, if you want, it was Colombia. What up, Nelly Nell? Thank you for tapping in.
Colombia does have that booger sugar.
Right. But you said you was taking Venezuela because them was drug smuggling boats. This what I'm just saying. This is where, he lose a lot of people at. You know what I'm saying? When you saying one thing, but now because Venezuela, because the Colombia president not agreeing with you, he basically let him know, look, son.
Here's where the Colombian president disagreed at. Petro's criticism of the U.S. for demanding that Venezuela return all assets it seized in the past from U.S. oil companies when it nationalized its industry and just seized all assets. Which, okay, I agree. Give us our shit back. At the same time, is this really worth fucking look. We
Right.
just spent 20 years at war. Hi, I'm a product of such a thing. I survive now off of disability, not because basically the things that they give me is because I can't sue the U.S. government. What do you know? That's part of the contract you signed, right? And there are more veterans than ever using these benefits, about 1 in 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to do it again, but this time we want to throw in Vietnam-style elements, Electric Boogaloo.
That's
Like,
what
I've been waiting for the announcement that we've gone to war with Venezuela. I have been, and I'm sitting here looking at like, how would they do?
I'm with Alan. There's no way Big Pharma will allow tons of pure cocaine. He didn't say that. I just threw that cocaine on it to sink at the bottom of the ocean. Not happening. I
don't know. The opposite may be true. Cocaine may be competing with their legally distinct, very much chemically heavy product that they're putting into your child's mouths right now. That does the exact same thing with more side effects. They may want the cocaine gone.
Listen, they don't want that cocaine. It's just funny to me that, man, he can get up there like listen. We going to what? This is first year. I'm nervous what the next 3 finna be about because it's like he's doing whatever they letting him just do what he want to do on some of the stuff that he's doing. That's just like the one lady that's in jail. He tried to pardon her. I get it. Everybody doing. Lenore, thank you for tapping in.
He tried felony.
It's
That's just like he can't pardon his own convictions because they're state level. They made sure to keep it in state level. That way if he was elected, he could like. I get it. Game the game, do the system. It is what it is.
What's up, Michael B? Yeah, you have a great one too. I'm just looking at it because, like I said, I'm just watching it. I'm like Trump. Like, listen, everybody got to know their limit. It's just, to me, some of the, and this is my humble opinion, why I think maybe the Republicans will probably get some backlash coming next year because of some of these things that's going on. When you looking at like we making cuts on healthcare, we making the cuts, but then you finna go spend down there $30 billion on a pet project that is not going to succeed.
See, I think at some point, the way I look at Trump is, well, I don't listen to him in his rhetoric, right? Because a lot of things, he just says shit off the cuff, has sometimes no meaning, sometimes some meaning, but it never gets carried through on. I don't listen. Watch what happens. Like, that's all I can ever say.
Yeah.
Will these things get built? Probably going to get killed in the Naval Review Board, hopefully. Like the guys who look at the ships and go, yeah, this seems like a good idea. Yeah, we can do these. We can do these. They learned their lesson with the Zimwalt. They're going to sit there and go, oh, hell no. My name is not going anywhere near this. Hopefully it dies, right? Venezuela, who knows? Maybe he was just trying to gear some things up, or maybe he's actually trying to go to war. The only thing I can say is we will know for sure if we invade. Otherwise, it was just talk, and which is what I expect from him.
Well, you see what New One came with the $5 super chats. He said,
New
Trevor,
One.
keep speaking truth, keep it up. That's why, I'm just...
I will call strikes, and balls. It doesn't matter who I voted for. Like, if the guy I voted for fucked up, I've somehow got a platform to sit here and complain about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Alan said we left behind in Afghanistan billions of dollars of new military equipment. Wow.
And now this is on a personal note, right? But we left behind 249s, 240s. We left behind, military vehicles. We left behind 50 cals. We left behind thousands of M4s, hundreds of thousands of M4s. All these military weapons. And the same people that allowed it to happen, being Congress, being past president, this president, any of them try saying, oh, gun control. You just gave people that tried to kill me for 20 years a whole fuck ton of guns and ammunition. You can go shut up. Right? Like, wow. No, he's right. Billions of dollars in military equipment. I remember watching the day after it was announced. No, it must have been 3 days later. Taliban entering Kandahar Air Base and Bagram Air Base and finding American helicopters, old Kiowas, some Blackhawks. I don't think we left any gunships there, but Kiowas and Blackhawks are really nice helicopters worth millions of dollars. And they're just sitting there playing in it until someone came up with a pilot's license that knows how to fly these things. Great. Now we just gave people that were trying to kill me for 20 fucking years an Air Force. Granted, it's rotary wing, but it's still an Air Force.
I agree with you. New one said Congress should have term limits.
Fuck yes. If the president has one, so should they.
That's why I say all of them should have term limits. Some just losing their mind. Well, Alan said Trump did say we should have moved our equipment out of the nearest base.
Here's where I'm going to call a strike. He said that. We pulled out, what, less than a month later after he left office. Why wasn't it done before he left office? Why weren't the civilians moved out before he left office? Why weren't majority of the military personnel moved out before he left office? Just because he says it doesn't mean he's right, because he didn't follow through with it too. Yeah, Biden dropped the ball, obviously, but it was a fumble given to him in the first place as well. Yet they were disabled. How hard is it to re-enable them? Seriously. We take farm kids. I'm going to keep picking on farm kids today. We take farm kids from middle of dirt and nowhere that can barely write their name and teach them how to be helicopter mechanics. Do you think someone who's traveled abroad and gone to college for this sort of thing can't unmess it up? Especially if it's a cause they believe in?
I just think that when we think people, I kind of agree with you on that. I think that's where our ego come in. That we think people don't have the smarts to figure it out. Like they think, we left this, they won't never figure it out. You don't never underestimate nobody.
Here's the difference, right? You have guys on the ground like me, and then you have guys who think that war is an exercise to be, tacked around on a computer or on a map in their cushy office in DC. Here's the difference. They think of the folks in Afghanistan, Iraq as heathens, as primitives. Mm-hmm. Whereas I remember these folks ingenious enough to take several C batteries and use it to ignite a 155 millimeter artillery piece to blow up roads with my guys on it. Mm. There's a huge disconnect here between what the folks can do and what they're believed to do. And it's usually the guys that get to wear their Class A's, their dress uniform every day as part of their job, who happen to have these perceptions, while the dudes who are actually, fighting with them and interacting with them happen to know, no, these are some smart motherfuckers. They are human after all. There's a reason the human race is, the apex race on this planet. Humans, we shape the planet to our will. These folks are the exact same.
And I think that's what it is. They'll have you, like you just said, like I told you, that's why when I said, when I tell people, if you go watch that movie, Alexander, when they go in there and you see Alexander talking, that's why I like the dialogue, the conversation that they be having within the movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the action, but I like the conversation to see. Just what you said. He said, we called them savages. Mm-hmm. Just because we conquered them, we looked at them as savages. So I can understand when you saying like the people in the suits, as they call them, the ones in the suits in DC, like all them primitive, they this and that, because they might see, some people still cling to their culture, like sheep herders or goat herders. You know what I'm saying? They'll think them people don't know how to fight. Oh, they don't got the understanding to.
So a lot of the folks we were fighting weren't actually sheep herders, goat herders, and they weren't actually part of the ideology of Taliban. These were folks who slipped, $50 and an AK, shoot at the Americans, drop the gun, and then go back to your stuff, just to keep us on our toes, right? But these are also the same sheep herders that when they came down out of the mountains to the villages, I remember Nangalam. Was it Nangalam? No. Lomcats. Actually, I'm going to have to look this place up. But these folks had a working water wheel to power their entire village. that they built themselves. The only thing that they asked from us Americans was concrete. They didn't ask for any technical expertise. They didn't ask for any labor. They didn't ask for any of that. They wanted concrete to build it. These folks ain't stupid.
But see, that's what you would get. You know, that's where the politics come in at it. And they tell me, oh no, we can do it. We can take them out. Even in the end, just say you do use your drone, you still have to go with boots on the ground. At the end of the day, even if you come through there after you drop missiles or whatever, you still gonna have to come with boots on the ground.
Yeah, that's why infantry is always going to be a thing, regardless of how how wonderful everything is, how great your technology is. It's always going to come down to one man having to possibly beat another man to death, right? You can't patrol a street with a drone. You can't control a sector with just one tank. You need dudes. So guess what? If you're relying so heavily on this technology, the dude who doesn't have that crutch is going to kick your ass.
And plus, they know they land.
Oh yeah, shit.
I'm gonna come to your crib and whoop your ass.
All right.
Like I come in your house. I don't. Much as you can do all the scoping out of land you want, there's some parts that you're just not gonna know. Just look at the Vietnam War.
Ho Chi Minh Trail was a thing.
Yeah. But you got to even look at the Korean War. You can keep going through even all of them.
Korean War, we were doing good until several million Chinese came across the border because we were too stupid to realize, hey, we aren't friendly with China. Hey, we've got a massive army encroaching on China and we're not talking to them. Hey, China might think that we're fucking invading. Yeah. There was a lot wrong. There's a reason we called it the Forgotten War. Because we were winning. We were doing great. We were as we were supposed to be doing or whatever we wanted to be doing. Next thing you know, it gets right back to a stalemate where it all started.
Yeah. Underestimation. You underestimated the people when you was over there. They didn't, when they was planning their war, they didn't add that into the factor.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how can they, if they steady wasting money. I wonder was they gonna bring Doge in for that, for the presidential war. I mean, this is man, this is crazy what we're going. Like right now, they got Doge in Michigan.
Yeah, and so I'll be honest, I was hoping they'd come there. I was also just hoping that they wouldn't spend money stupidly either, but c'est la vie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they only using it on who they dislike.
Yeah. Did you expect different?
That's why I'm not. I'm just sitting up here. I couldn't believe people voted for this madness, though. You know what I'm saying? This is when they really say you still letting the teenagers run the house. This is the definition of letting the teenagers run the house. They're gonna run you right into a war.
Where is it?
New one said that's true in Vietnam. Being the U.S., we play chess. Vietnamese play Go or Go.
Go. Yeah. Different mindsets entirely had the Vietnam War playing out in ways that neither side thought it would.
I'm like what Alan said. Just do good business deals instead of trying to conquer nations and sacrifice your Americans for selfish gains.
Here, let me because I'm still very proud of us distributing the concrete for this project. Like, it's a really cool thing to see. Let me see. Where is it? Google Maps. You can actually see it's covered by the trees, but just the change in water flow to power this small village here with a water wheel. I think they're actually selling electricity to their neighboring villages too.
But damn, but they knocked it back to the Middle Ages though.
No, this area.
I'm saying the country though. Yeah, but you might have the majority of that country is, I mean, unless they improved it, Because I remember when Rumsfeld was talking, said we'll knock you back to the Donald, that is Rumsfeld, the first Donald.
I
Said
think he
when
was
they
talking
went
to
over
Iraq.
there with they was in Afghanistan too.
Afghanistan,
was
unfortunately,
the
was
first one
screwed
they
up from
went
the
into, right?
Soviets before us.
Yeah, but we went over
The
there and did some more
Soviets.
damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the Soviets, people like to say that the American military didn't have any restraint. I will definitely disagree with you. And then I will point at the Soviets rolling through as a group with no restraint.
But did you see? Go back and pull up some of the bombs that they dropped. United States had opened up. I think they went and they dropped some bombs down there.
So we dropped the largest conventional bomb ever on record in wartime in Afghanistan on a cave system. It was the Moab. Also, people just call it the mother of all bombs. It's a fuel air bomb. So when it hits, it disperses an aerosol cloud of fuel, and then a second later, sparks. So it results in a massive explosion, but it also causes a vacuum from when all that fuel ignites. It draws all the oxygen to it because of how hot it is and the flames, and it pushes it up. So we used it on a cave complex in Afghanistan and suffocated the people inside using that.
And I'm looking what Alan said. U.S.
Yes, we
gave
did.
Afghanistan's weapons to fight against Russia. But
Who do you think? Well, I mean, you already know.
Yeah.
So, the Mujahideen.
Yeah.
Freedom fighters. Oh, we didn't just give them, we gave them Soviet AKs because they were all over the market. And then we gave them a lot of fun American firepower, such as the Stinger missile or AT-4s. They didn't like our AT-4s as much, so they kept on taking the Russian RPG-7s, and we just started providing the RPG-7s like, fuck it, we can just go to Bolivia and buy these for you.
Yeah, because
we were giving them a fuck ton of shit. Yeah, but we didn't give them anything for civil infrastructure, which kind of caused a problem later down the road.
And then came back and went to war with them. Just messed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These American presidents is gangster. They'd be friends with you.
And then one will be a friend with you, and then 6 to 10 to 15 years later, his arch rival in the political scene is going to say, fuck you. Here's my thing.
Have you knocked down? I mean, no, if you look at Bush, Bush was cool with the Saddam, with the Husseins. And then when Junior got in, and with the
Bush wasn't cool with him. Reagan was.
He was the vice president, and they said Reagan had Alzheimer's. So Bush, Bush was the head. Yeah, but remember, Bush was your CIA director. Remember, Daddy was the CIA director before he was, before he was vice president.
It was Bush Sr. that went to Desert Storm because Saddam Hussein made the cardinal sin of the 20th century of raising everyone's gas prices. Good morning. How you doing, Miss Marie?
Thank you for tapping in. Hey, Fox new one, Diary of an Economic Hitman. That's why I said Dad was the CIA director. He was him himself. And then became the vice president. Some say he was calling the shots from the vice presidency.
I heard the wife, but say Levy.
Oh, okay, here you go. Mark Hutchinson got one for you, Trevor.
Why did we go into Afghanistan? I don't think they even knew 9/11 happened. What was the purpose of it? At the time, I can only say what I know or what I've heard. Osama was hiding there, and we asked Taliban to give him up. They said no, because they were fighting the Northern Coalition at the time. They had other things on their mind. They might have been sympathetic. But when they said no, we said, fine, we'll come and get him. And then started the world's longest game of hide and seek. Turned out the guy was next door in Pakistan after we went in. Hey, now I know what to do if the U.S. government's ever looking for me. I get out of my house and I go next door. I can hold out for 12 years next door. Shit.
Man.
But yeah. The Taliban, the revolutionary government of Afghanistan that took over after someone else They were a lot more religious oriented, but they ran the country. And the Northern Coalition, who just as religious, but didn't like saying, "Hey, we're a country. No, this is my tribe. This is my area. Fuck you." They were fighting each other. Hell, I remember the night of September 11th, 2001. The first thing that came onto the TV at, I want to say, the 9 o'clock ABC News was the Northern Coalition launching rockets into Kabul. Which, now that you say it was all fake, it does make me think, because, God, I was like, what, 11, 12?
I mean, they come up with anything
No,
to go to war. Yeah, I'm saying.
I was 12 years old, but who would have thought at that time, just hours after 9/11, about 12 hours, to put the next, it had everything about the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, the flight that went down in Pennsylvania. And then the next news article after that, the next story after that, was fighting in Afghanistan. Think about it for a minute. Like, the very next story that night, instead of everything being about 9/11, our crisis, was an attack happening on Kabul, Afghanistan. It kind of got your mind going, well, maybe Afghanistan. The military-industrial complex and the intelligence-industrial complex are bastards.
If you go watch the movie Good Shepherd, even though it just take you to the what was it, World War II, ain't it? That's what the Good Shepherd movie about. Because it's doing with Hitler.
Yeah.
When you see in Russia, they showing Russia, and it is doing that, doing the downfall of Germany, because you got Russia and America. That's when they was both taking scientists from Germany.
Operation Paperclip.
Yeah. So you were seeing the games that they was playing, like they was even knocking each other agents off.
Dude, we stole aircraft, German aircraft, from Great Britain. We stole Messerschmitts. They're the very first jets in the world, from Great Britain to bring to America to disassemble. Like, our pilots just walked up to them, like, "Hey, Joe, da 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 da." Come back later that night, jump in it, take off.
Right.
Like, we stole from our allies. Like, and don't get me wrong, Russia wasn't an ally. They're just someone fighting the same person we were at the same time that we were giving stuff to. Okay, they were an ally, but we were stealing from everyone, and everyone was stealing from us. It was kind of it was a free for all as soon as it looked like Germany was falling. Whoever can get the most shit wins.
But see, that's why voting matters. Because
do you think voting would have changed that behavior?
No, to be honest with you, no, because the way this game is set up, this is what they do. And they have us thinking that, all right, you vote, we're going to change it. Trump got right up here and said he wasn't going to be all that. And what was he saying? Wars, and what he come right in here doing? Starting wars.
It's only starting a war if they can fight back. Otherwise, it's just international bullying.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase it then. I'll rephrase it. Trump coming in.
I'm going to stop the bloodshed.
No, he coming in taking people's shit. Let me say that.
I mean, he said he was going to stop the bloodshed.
Did he?
He did. He said, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, all these people being killed. I absolutely hate it. They say I can stop it. I don't say it. I'm going to try, but they all say it.
And how did that go?
Well, he's got ceasefires in several places. He's got a couple treaties, but at the same time, Russia and Ukraine are still going at it almost a year later. We're slapping Venezuela around like a redheaded stepchild, and we are developing the world's biggest I have a small penis monument, or at least we're planning on. So, I don't know.
Let me see. Okay, the older Bush helped develop the CIA with the war. The Nazi Secret Service. He was there from the start, even before becoming a director. That's why I say that movie, if you go watch that movie, The Good Shepherd, it'll tell you what we experienced, and this is nothing new. So it's kind of hard to believe. Well, it's just hard for, I think, the people not falling for how they might have was falling for it back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s.
the control complex hasn't really caught up with the idea of the internet, right? So it used to be you could put it on the evening news and everyone will eat it up, right? And evening news wasn't even fighting each other back then. But then the internet came along and, well, we've got people tuned in here rather than to ABC. We got people tuned in here rather than to Fox, right? So now they're fighting each other, trying to get a narrative out while we're doing something counter, and we're not on anyone's payroll. We can say what we want, when we want, how we want, and we don't even have to fight the FCC.
In fact, I'm like what Darnell said. That's like Debo wanting a Nobel Peace Prize. It is like the bully wants the Nobel Peace Prize. That's why I look at it as just like this stuff that they doing in Congress. To me, they would have, and we was having this conversation earlier. To me, they just think it's just. I'll give you an example: the Epstein files, because that's what we was talking about earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I said Trump created this madness with the Epstein's files. Because what was he running on? We're going to empty the files. We're going to expose it.
We're going to release the files. We're going to open the files for Martin Luther King. We're going to open the files on Kennedy. Yep.
He did all this stuff. Then when he got in office, and I agree with you, New One. New One said, I think that all presidents get a visit from the people who really run the country. They tell them what they will and will not do. And to me, I think that's what just happened. Like when he was talking about he was going to release the file. It wasn't by choice that they had all that shit blacked out.
So I was watching a gentleman earlier. Actually, let me look up my YouTube go through, and I will give you the exact name of the channel. Let me see. Let me click on me. Oh, not me. Me, and then history.
Yeah, he got that visit, New One. He was talking that junk. He was sitting up there. We're gonna pay him Bondi. He ain't paying Bondi willing to take that hit right now.
All right, so here we go. The channel is Voidzilla.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. Let me just drop the link to his video in chat. Where's the share button? I don't do this often enough. Copy. Go ahead and check this out after we go off. It's not a long video. Let me see. How long are you? 11 minutes. And he describes how he and several friends of his decided to look into the FBI, and they found the 8th document release that is supposedly unreleased right now, but they didn't delist it. So he was able to get it and download it into the zip files. And at the end of it, he tells you how to do it. But there are several hundred pages that it's just black ink with a white border because of how much they redacted. But he also brings up in 2019, they said Epstein must have had accomplices. I mean, they were doing a RICO case on him because of how vast this was. But if you ask today, it was only Ghislaine Maxwell that helped him. If you say today that he had more co-conspirators than just Ghislaine Maxwell, you are a conspiracy theorist and you are a nut. But the FBI in 2019 said that they were going after more people. Now, I don't know if this was before Trump left office or if it was after Trump left office. I can't say for sure. But during that election season, just like you're seeing right now, this election season, that entire thing got swept under the rug. The entire investigation, except for Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. Just like now you're seeing political games being played nationwide, even into the smaller communities like Flint. My brother sent me this video of a guy talking about, oh yeah, Flint's water's fixed. By the way, they have this new community-owned grocery store, and it's really great. He didn't go on to say that several parts of the grocery store, like the deli, have already shut down. Like, I honestly think the store is failing. It's not going to last a year. But they're pushing this political agenda so far and so wide to get, A, my opinion, Neely reelected. B, get Neely some contacts, some of his folks reelected as well. Why? because Flint is a big money-making area for a lot of people that donate to campaigns. And then next, they want to use this as the golden child. Oh, under this person's leadership, Flint prospered. It's a step toward, in my opinion, Gretchen Whitmer's presidential run in 2028.
You might be on to something. I can't argue with that.
Like, my brother lives in Midland, Odessa, Texas. And yes, he follows us, so he's going to get some Flint-related content. But this was on his alternate Facebook, not linked to any of the stuff that he follows us on here. And somehow he's getting Flint-related content. That's the second of 2 videos he got.
I mean, even the spaces I be in, you get people who talk about Flint. We might don't see it. It might not. Even some of the I ain't gonna say all the big podcasts, but well, at least some who be having like maybe got 30 or 40,000 followers. Let me say that. They, you know what I'm saying? They be speaking on Flint, but some of them get the same thing. They're like you saying, they say the Flint water, but you know what they go to? The governor.
They go to the governor and the Breakfast Club. Then they go to Neely and some of his press conferences, or even his State of the City address. How's your water? Better than yours. The fuck it is. Like, if the water was fixed, he could just say it's fixed. Instead, he has to be so bombastic about it, right?
Yeah,
catch me here. The 2020 election, when they had to keep telling us it's the safest, most secure election of all time, bullshit. I'm willing to bet they're going to be, they say the same about 24. So go ahead and call bullshit. When someone has to keep ramming something down my throat to get me to believe it, bullshit. Right? Just like the super flu vaccine, safe and effective. If you have to, while I'm at the gas pump pumping gas and you're telling me safe and effective, I'm going to call bullshit. Okay? Like, if you are pushing it so hard, there's something wrong. Same thing about the Flint water right now. If they're pushing it this hard, there's something wrong with it.
Just think about it. They brought out the big guns. They had Dana Nessel was here.
Which I'm surprised she had the ovaries to show up in Flint after she killed the RICO investigation to get people charged.
Oh, they don't trip about that.
To get, well, obviously not. I mean, if the folks actually gave a damn, and I'm talking about myself too, there would have been a lot of calls on Dana Nessel as she walked through. Why'd you kill the RICO?
Yeah, forgot Rivet was here when me and Brother Elliot was there. Rivet was here. I told you, to me, she came like nonchalant. It was just like, oh, and that's what I'm like, damn, and we voted for her because I voted. I voted in every election. I even blame myself. I blame myself on not being more into the water crisis and seeing, like, because I was here. I was in Flint doing all that whole process. I was going up there, pulling up. I went to the one on, it was Saginaw, where you can go get water from. I want to say, was that Bishop, the water pods. I remember going, man, I remember going on Dorrit Highway.
Dude,
I remember going,
I just moved to Flint. My mother-in-law sent me to go get water, and I'm having to use Google Maps to find a church to get to a water pod where I sat in a line for 45 minutes to get 1 case of water. I remember doing that for a long while until water pods are gone. Oh, we need to bring them back, right, Flint City Council? What do you think that money was for that all these folks got, Miss Mays?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I was there. I'm looking at, look what Katie said. She said, we vote for CIA agents.
Yes. Because here's the fun thing. Until they tell you they're a CIA agent, you usually don't fucking know. Right? They're really good at just blending in. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a spy, as it were.
I'm looking at Old Gamer. Jobs available in California. Illegal CDLs were removed. Many jobs available due to illegal status and ability to not speak English. Truck drivers needed.
Yep.
They on Gavin Newsom head right now. I've been peeping into their little politics out there.
So have I, but once again, call a ball, a strike, right?
Yeah.
Here in Florida, a large Indian truck driving school was just giving people their credentials so they can go and get their CDLs.
Right.
People who couldn't read. Many times foreigners who just showed up, didn't even speak the language. Well, here's the fun thing about driving in India. India doesn't have right of way. You want to know what makes right of way? Might makes right. The bigger the vehicle, if the truck is bigger than you, get the fuck out of its way. If you don't teach that, here we have right of way, you're going to have problems like we've seen on the headlines several times. So, yeah, we can talk about California, but let's also point fingers at Florida here for allowing that to happen for so long.
I'm with Katie.
We'll point at Democrats and Republicans.
I'm with Katie. Remember, they found cases of water in an abandoned church.
No, not cases. They found a fucking ocean of bottled water in that gymnasium. You couldn't walk across the floor without stepping on a bottle.
To me, that the whole rollout was dead wrong because they was trying to cover up. I remember, you can go back, it's some years back, but if you got time, I'm saying for the people who want to watch it, you can go back and see what we're saying, bring back the water pods. And the people who was telling us to go in there was like, had us fighting for that cause.
Knowing that it was a losing cause, but it made them look good that we were doing it because we were associated with them.
Yeah, and I'm just saying.
That's why I'm so glad we got out of other people's pockets, dude. Like, we took the hit on a lot of things to make other people look good. We were part of that nonsense. I was just talking about my brother's video from Facebook that he sent me.
Yeah.
Like, we were part of that nonsense in a lot of ways. Just pushing a narrative.
I mean, but that's why you have to watch who you deal with, to be honest with you. You have to really watch, because you would be fighting for a cause that's not your fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I done seen that you would be into it with people that is not your fight. I done seen people want you to attack a person, then when they be out in public, they be cool with them.
Smiling with them, shaking their hands, telling jokes, giving them hugs, but you're the pit bull. I mean, here's the other thing. You may have a very righteous cause, and someone else comes in, co-ops it, and now you're fighting something completely different that you had no problem with in the first place because you got wrapped up in someone else's personality.
Right. I'm looking at Katie Saban. She said, look now, microplastic in the water bottles. I mean, but who benefited? See, we ain't, you got to look at the big picture. Who benefited from the people buying water?
Nestle. For the short term, they made a huge profit until they were called out on their bullshit. And then, God, who else? Coke for a while with Dasani, but a lot of that water was great value. Walmart.
Because they, mostly people, the distillers left in Flint, I truly believe, is still drinking bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Because they still get money off of Flint.
You can't visit a person's house in Flint without seeing at least a case of bottled water. It doesn't, even if the water were fixed, like Neely said, okay, we're gonna go into La pretend land and pretend that he isn't bullshitting. The damage is done to the psyche of the people of Flint that no one will trust that faucet water as long as they can afford to.
Facts.
Good morning, Shardy. How you doing, buddy?
Shardy in the building. The new one said $200 per year. That's what I'm saying. Now, just imagine you got down there. We ain't gonna say 80,000. Let's just say 45,000 is buying bottled water a year. Look how much money they pulling in.
It's massive, ain't it?
Yeah. I ain't even saying 80,000. I'm just saying, let's just say if you got 35,000 buying bottles of water, pulling in good money.
Oh yeah. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like our business practice here, right?
Yeah.
One person getting an ad is like between 1 and 30 cents. 65 people getting an ad between 1 and 30 cents happens to build up. So one person buying a case of water, whatever. Several thousand, dozens of thousands of people buying water on a weekly basis, you're raking in that money.
and you coming. I'm gonna say this because I don't know every household, but I know just for mine, you going to buy. At least it depends if you go get you 4 cases. And what you use your water for? Do you use it? Because some you might be buying 4 cases. I say every other week. So let's just say you buying 8 cases a month.
Yeah.
And that's for a small family. Imagine you have a big family, because you got to throw that in the factor too.
Myself, my wife, my daughters were going through 2 cases a week. Because I was using water in my coffee. I was using water for macaroni and fucking cheese. My kids were drinking bottled water. I was drinking water when
8 cases a month.
Yeah, like that was quite a bit, dude. And then when I started making my wines and meads, guess what water I'm not using? The Flint water, because I don't know how that's going to interact with my yeast. I don't know if that's going to kill my yeast, to be honest with you, while I'm trying to make my wines. So now I'm buying distilled, purified water, gallon jugs. Well, that's money right there. And it keeps on going and going. And did you know that in most states, to have a still, right? Most people think of a still as something to make liquor with. But to even have a still to purify water, because it could be converted to make liquor, it's illegal. So you couldn't even distill your own water out of the faucet to make it drinkable. Because if someone saw you with a still, they're going to, call the cops, or the cops would just see you, and now you've got a 5-year felony charge for having a still. Have fun with that.
Yeah, that's why I'm just saying, just look what's going on. Who, you know what I'm saying? Who, when they say follow the money, who gains to win? Even though they might have called Nestle out, they still selling water.
Oh yeah, they're still making big money.
Yeah, this ain't stopped.
Poverty is big business.
Yeah, but what is sad though, that you would have a mayor, and kind of I want to say, in kind of my own selfish way, I'm kind of glad that the mayor did do all that, and the governor, not for the people to be hurt,
just show who they really are.
Facts, because. And I'm glad that Republican came out and said, no, the governor said that the water was fixed.
Yep. I mean,
because now the mayor, and this is what I'm saying, election season is upon us. Come next, like I say, next Thursday is the 1st.
Yeah. I mean, election season is in full swing. Neely does not want to admit that the water is not safe.
Right.
That's going to cost him the election. Also, he doesn't want to admit that the water is not safe, because that ruins his friend Gretchen's run. And if she gets into that presidential office, hell, if she just gets a cabinet position, because that's what I'm assuming she's running for.
I believe, because
she's not going to get the Oval Office, but
yeah, it's just my humble opinion. I don't think America, and I'm gonna say, I don't think they're ready for a woman president. I'm just being honest. I don't see it. So that's just. And look, I don't know what they might do 100 years from now, but right now, in the next 4 years, I don't see no woman winning the presidency of the United States. I would love to be proved wrong.
I mean, just her popularity alone, she's got a strong run, but not a winning run. Gavin Newsom is more of a household name, right? So I honestly feel she's going to run for president. She's not going to try to run for president to win. She's going to try to run for president to gain more popularity, which will force Gavin to put her into a cabinet position, just like Obama and Hillary. And if she gets that cabinet position, Neely now has a very strong friend in a very high place. Doesn't that fucking terrify you?
I mean, I look at it, shit, he know what he was doing. Because do that say he's a smart man?
No. Because a tapeworm also does the same thing. It finds a host, attaches itself to it, and lives off of it. Do we think a tapeworm is smart?
Then they find the host. And if you keep feeding it, so
I don't consider it smart. I just consider it nature.
You trying to say it got lucky. But most people, if you get a tapeworm, you'll try to deworm yourself. You know what I'm saying? You'll try to get rid of
it.
Right. This right here.
Neely is the tapeworm that you don't know about. You just think, oh, he's got Mayor Neely.
So you really believe that, Trevor? Do you understand they had to cover up? You got some people who can do shit. They didn't basically showed you where his help coming from. For a minute, we was asking.
My buddy, you keep telling the story every week of when Wentis and Neely saw each other at Walmart. People walking up to Neely with cases of water in their cart and shaking his hand. He is the tapeworm people don't realize they have.
No. What I'm talking about, the stuff that they had to do to help him out, to cover his stuff up. Just think about it.
Like the state stepping in to do the lawns just so that he can say he got something done, even though I don't think any houses have been worked on by at least W.T. Stevens, even though that they were the only company willing to work for the city of Flint to replace the pipes after Goyette called it quits. I don't think W.T. Stevens did any pipes after 2023. So how did it suddenly become complete in 24 or 25?
Okay, you just want to go with that one?
Oh, I mean, that's just a quick reference. Like,
who had to come in? Who had to come in? Answer this question: who had to come in and help his city clerk with residency?
Yeah, the Secretary of State,
Jocelyn Benson.
And that's sad because I like Benson. I talked with her once. She called me actually. Oh, that's where that went.
Okay, he said he liked what you said, the tapeworm. So I'm just saying. So now let's just look at it. Did they have to come help him with the people he picked? Even with him, I'm not saying other mayors probably showed. I don't think they had to show who was behind them like this dude had. This mayor had to come on. Even the court systems.
Yeah. Like everything in Genesee County is locked down. Pretty much like locked down. If you want a fair trial, and it's not fair because it's, justice is blind. It's fair because, well, someone wants to stick it to the Genesee, whoever's in charge in Genesee. You go to the federal courts, just like Mr. Jebediah did. When he got his shit, he didn't go to the Genesee. No, he said, I want to change the venue to the federal. I want to go to the district courts. Why? Because the district courts aren't as tied in, and it seems like someone in the district courts has a problem with someone in the Flint courts.
Listen,
it was the smartest move I've ever seen anyone do when it came to law in Genesee County. Like, look, I've got a law problem. Fuck it, I'm getting out of this place.
Listen, I get what you're saying, Mark, but that's what I'm saying. They put somebody in that I mean, I ain't gonna say put nobody in. They allowed him to do what he doing because they know he not gonna step on their toes.
Exactly. He's a good puppet. He's a good parasite. A good parasite doesn't kill the host. It lives off the host.
Yeah, that's what because I'm looking what Mark saying. Gretchen is no friend of Flint, and I bet Gretchen despises Neely. Gretchen did that horrible. But this what I'm saying. Yeah, because look at all the stuff she had to show that they getting help from up there.
Remember 2022. You, myself, and Wentis sitting in that law office by City Hall. I can't remember what the street was. And we read the Fox News article. National news, Flint Mayor Neely lied about having a degree. Don't you think that after she came out and endorsed him in that mayoral run, she didn't call him and go, Sheldon, get your shit together. Get that little town of yours together, get it in line and get to work, because I'm not making shit happen for me if you keep fucking up. You don't think that call didn't happen?
She might have did it behind the scenes, but guess who she's still supporting?
Yeah, because she can't fucking she can't take back her endorsement after she sat there for so long. I mean, remember, she rode to the governor's office first on Weaver's back. And then she turned that endorsement around for Neely the next election, and she insinuated very heavy many, many times that Weaver was stealing. You can't say that someone was stealing and then turn around and endorse them. Like, that makes you look like a flip-flopper. That makes you untrustworthy. So what do? You tell the person you endorse to get their shit together. You got to admit he's gotten his shit together, and what I mean by that is he's come down with an iron fist in Flint. You can't even talk in city council without getting your arm ripped out of socket. You can't talk in city council without catching a year of probation. But he's got his shit together. He's got that boot down.
No, he's smooth because it's not him that's sicking the people. It looked like it's your president of the council, Liddell Lewis.
You see, you make a good point there, but then I have to make the counterpoint on a legal side, and hear me out. The cops don't answer to city council. The cops answer to the chief of police, who answers to the mayor. Do you think if Neely didn't want those cops there, they would be there? It doesn't matter how much the council screams and begs for protection. Look at Dennis. Dennis had threats coming in, literal death threats coming in from around the country, people taking pictures of his fucking kids. He asked for police escort and protection. Did he get any? If Neely didn't want those cops there, they wouldn't be there.
Well, let me hit you with another counter punch. Remember Metcalf?
I remember Metcalf. God, he had the world's ugliest mullet. He also thought I was going to shoot him once when I had the rifle in there and I opened a Red Bull. Anyway, yeah, I remember Metcalf.
Because I forgot who it was. He didn't want to arrest. Then Liddell get him reassigned.
Yep. Turned him into a meter maid, and he was talking shit all over Facebook until he was called back into those city council chambers.
Okay, I mean,
I remember that.
Yeah, okay. Do
but
you think
that was through the mayor? She called for it, and the mayor knew he needed her vote. But if the mayor didn't give it the go-ahead, he wouldn't have gotten reassigned. The buck stops at Neely. Like, however
like you said, he needed that vote.
He needed that vote.
So
he had to play ball. But if he didn't want to play ball, Metcalf wouldn't have been reassigned.
But how it's going to look? That Liddell, ain't nobody saying the mayor, well, only in Jed case. Well, they know he put them on.
He's a threat. And I don't mean a threat like the casket's a threat. I mean, like, he's a threat to the political power base of Flint because he's an outsider that brought in so much attention and scrutiny. He took an entire audience, put their eyeball to a magnifying glass, and said, look how fucked up Flint is. That made him a threat.
Hey, right there. The mayor couldn't have nobody challenging him like that.
No, not at all. Like, he has to play big politician. He has to pretend like he's a big man on campus. If he let that slide, it'd make him look weak.
So you saying his hands was forced?
In a way, yeah. I mean, look, if you challenge a politician, you are going to get repercussions one way or another. Hell, we've experienced it. How hard is it for us to get a studio in the city of Flint?
Well, it ain't easy.
No. But Jed was a bigger threat than us.
Oh, for sure.
I keep putting a D on his name because that's just, colloquialism, but Mr. Jebediah.
Yeah.
He was a bigger threat than us. He has a larger audience. And he's from out of town. That brought so much heat into the mayor's lap.
I think because Jed could motivate some people. He got people ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been and fell out with the same ones. Like, so Jed, and I think that's what, and I do believe that's what they didn't like. You know what I'm saying? That he can get, regardless if you like Jed or not. But
personally, I like him. He's a good dude.
No, I'm just saying for people.
I know. I'm saying to the chat, like, giving him my impression of the man. Like, off camera, he's very fucking chill.
Yeah, shout out to Jed and his INA team, too. But, Jed came up here because when nobody thinking about bringing no casket, that, doing it that way, you coming in front of the mayor house.
That got some eyes. That got some attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best way to get a point across is to do it in the most unorthodox way. Like, you have to have that shock factor. Yeah. A casket wheeled up to the mayor's house as a symbol of all the people that died or will be dying from the Flint water crisis, and saying you haven't gotten your shit together. That kind of caught some attention.
Yeah, because they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because after all the stuff that we didn't show, that wouldn't, because people were still on the outside thinking the water was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But when he, like you said, when he came and he was just able to motivate different factions.
Even people that never heard of him, like myself.
Yeah.
Right? I had never heard of the man. I didn't know that he got his start in people following him when he jumped up on stage with Trump in 2016 as a protest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't know shit. I met the gentleman in the council offices, sitting alongside Carol, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, Councilwoman Burns, Michael Clack. And I swept up in his rhetoric, like, dude could really motivate you. He can get you going, you know what? Yeah, fuck that guy. Jed is good at getting you to really want to stand up. Hey.
I got him. Don't even do it. But you know what? If I could send you back to the Caucasus Mountain, you know what? I'll do it. If I could just send you back to the Caucasus Mountains, I ain't gonna even block you because you came home.
You know what? Nah, I tell you what.
Because he's like,
I'm generally against abortion, but I think his mother should have slammed a couple pints of vodka. Jesus Christ. She shouldn't have stopped it. This is the type of dude whose mother used to beat him with a wire hanger. Then he is born and she used a belt.
Yeah, he probably, his dad and his parents probably disappointed in him.
I mean, hell, there's a reason his daddy walked away, saw the disappointment he beat. Yeah, let's get back to work.
For sure. It says, now apply that to every city in every state across all U.S. states. You will see where the actual problem in our country is happening, yet everyone is focused on federal.
There's a term, all politics are local.
Local, right.
And yes, that has multiple meanings. The big one is shit that happens up high will eventually come down low.
Facts.
But the shit that happens in your city council, I guess in my case, it's like I don't know, like a village council, village meeting, impacts you far harder.
Right.
And you can actually have a say in it as compared to the federal. Like, all politics are local. You start local, you actually start a grassroots movement that changes something local. You feel that impact tomorrow. Whereas anything federal, number one, you have to get it through Congress. So there's a year and change of arguing, bitching, moaning, complaining, horse trading. It never comes out the way that it's supposed to. And then it gets challenged in court. So you got another 6 years because it's going all the way up to Supreme Court, whether it gets accepted or rejected. If it gets rejected, then however it last stood is how it is.
Yeah.
It takes forever and a day. And that's the same for state.
Yeah.
Like your state Supreme Court, it takes a long time to get up there and they may accept or reject.
But that just show you the BS in it because they pick and choose what they want to do. But see, this is when these people that you elected can keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Like, I just read one Texas judge is suing to overturn gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Man, fuck that dude.
Yeah, he just he won. I can't do it off the internet. Send me yours. Let me see, Kaylee. I'm gonna see what Katie Saban said. Really don't think all of these mileages have passed as they say they have. They
pass. They take your money. They just don't go to what they say they should.
They're gonna go to
the fucking lotto. Look at the Michigan Lotto. How much of that is actually going to the schools? I mean, Flint schools do receive quite a bit of money. Do they go to the students?
I doubt it. All you gotta do is look at the school system.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at them. Look at the ones on the in the inner city compared to the ones on the outskirts. That's why I'm tripping on fires the school board here. I'm surprised the school board here, like they really think they finna get the kids to come back here.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. Like, the kids shouldn't have a say in where they go, but the parents should be looking at it going, look, if my kid can't read past the 3rd grade, I don't need to be here. Is that no? All right. Like, my kid don't need to be where he can't read.
And that's the point that I'm saying. If you know the schools, it's not really offering all of this.
What school system in Flint? Well, GISD is also pretty fucked up, but I'm talking primarily FCS. And don't get me wrong, like the teachers there do the best they can, but that board keeps fucking them, and that superintendent keep on getting bonuses for that dismal performance. That for the lack of resources he's giving those teachers is criminal, as Mickey would say. It's diabolical.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
I mean, it's a setup. It really does feel like they're trying. Like you cannot fail that hard on accident.
Even the Bill of Rights states that ultimately the states have the power even over federal.
Yes, I believe that's your 8th Amendment.
But how did it? I mean, but when you get the politics in it, man, the way everything is, they got this thing so screwed up. How you gonna undo it? I just think we ain't got the people that's running it right now can undo it. I'm talking about the school system here. I'm talking about Flint.
You don't have the willpower.
No, I'm just saying, do you really think this school board, up under this current school board leadership, along with, well, I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna say all the ones who will roll with Joyce and the superintendent, you think they can change the Flint school system around?
No, too much Mott money. 100%. Like, well, Mott and other outside interests trying to push the FCS out of business to extend power reach, like GISD has been trying to encroach into Flint for the longest time. Mott and their little coterie of schools and programs trying to reach in. The charter schools, like, don't get me wrong, I graduated from charter school. I have nothing against charter schools, but when they start interfering with your public schools, there's an issue.
I'm telling you, just diabolical. This dude, he just wants so much attention. I've never seen nobody want so much attention. Let me help him out because he wants the attention. I guess you ain't get it the first time. Let me see if you get it now.
See, I can type it and not get in trouble.
Right. No, I got him together right there because that's what he wanted. He couldn't stop it. He just wanted it. He wanted all the attention.
Yeah, well, before you leave, whatever your fucking name is, you illiterate backwoods fucking Peckerwood, go ahead and stay here and get an ad or two and go ahead and pay the people you don't like.
Yeah, I just got him.
Yeah, Shardy, like, I graduated at charter school. I graduated from Center for Academic Success. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore. They probably are.
They're not.
I don't know. Like I said, I ain't been to Douglas since my dad died, dude. I ain't kept up with none of them motherfuckers down there. But charter schools are fine, except when they start trying to be in competition with the public schools. Because charter schools, some of them, they cater toward how some students learn. Me, I was better as an individual learner than a group learner. Okay? So that worked for me. They fill a niche.
Mm-hmm.
But when they start trying to push kids out of the public school systems for their own benefit rather than the students' benefit is where I start drawing a line and having a problem.
Okay. I'm not to cut you. I'm looking with Mark
No,
Hutchins.
he's 100% right.
Right.
Like count day. Count day is literally what every student has $1 value. Hey, show up and get marked on the attendance for these 2 days semester that we actually care about attendance so we can get our money. Doesn't that sound like a fucking scam? Kid, you could be sitting there and a kid you haven't seen since the first day of school rolls up because he was threatened with truancy in like first grade. Oh, if you don't show up for count day, we're calling the truancy officer. You know what that says? If you don't give us money, we're calling the cops on you.
Right. I'm looking at this. What said, unfortunately, states rely on federal government for funding. The funding depends on attendance and testing.
Well, here's my deal, right? Attendance shouldn't just be 2 days a semester. It should be an aggregate average of every day that semester. Okay. Oh, we averaged 27 students. Okay. And instead of little Jimmy only coming in when it actually matters to get funding, hey, every day fucking matters. Hey, if you don't send little Jimmy to school so he can get an education because your lazy ass won't get out of bed, well, we're going to have to send the truancy officer and you might be dealing with CPS. Right? Like, that makes sense to me. But the way that they do it now, it's just holding you hostage to get a little bit of money for your kids showing up rather than actually trying to educate your child. Damn it.
You know it's gonna go. Well, Trevor, we at the 11 minutes. We went up. We was late, but we got listening. We was late. It was only late like 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's a channel update type deal. And for those of you who that are kind of thrown off by commercials, like Mickey has a plan. He wants to get a studio. We have to start raising funds. So we're doing it every way we can. I'm also trying to extend into other social media platforms to get more people here for more funding. Don't take it the wrong way. Just, we would like to have our own studio. Paying someone else's mortgage ain't kind of the way to go, right? So bear with it, and thank you for staying around.
And we appreciate it. And I'll see y'all at Winter's to be on at 6. See y'all then, family. Peace.